Hi, Patricia. How are you?
Good, and you?
I'm doing fine. Congratulations on G20. I just loved it. So fun. Such a engaging movie, and I love the themes you approached and the way you approached them. One of my favorite things about G20 is how you and your writers balance Danielle's toughness and femininity with her maternal side and instincts. So tell me more about that and how important it was to showcase this strong nuclear family while making a great action movie.
Yes, super important because if your lead is a woman, you can't ignore that. I don't like the action movies that have a woman and it's really a man movie. It just happens to be a woman, but there's nothing in it that appeals to a female audience. I didn't want that. I wanted to make sure that a female audience would also enjoy this movie, and the way to do that is to come up with a character that has important human relationships, family relationships. So when I saw, Serena in the story, I thought, that's what we should do. We should do a teenage mother story because, it's a universal thing. All teenage daughters fight with the mothers. And how cool is it to start them in conflict and in trouble and then see what happens during an event like this one? So I'm glad that you saw it.
I love that. And I loved your answer because I completely agree with you. Like, I don't like when action movies try to take the maternal side of a woman, which is something so vital and so important. And we gotta talk about that beautiful red dress. So many layers. The cape is stunning and it also gives that superhero atmosphere, kind of like an Easter egg for what is up to come, right? The dress transforms itself throughout the whole movie. So I wanted to know from you, like, walk me through the process of choosing this specific red dress and color, obviously, and also how many versions of it were made.
Oh my God. I mean, the dress was a huge thing. It was in the script was the color red. And then the rest was how do I get Viola? At some point, I didn't want her to keep the dress through the whole time because how uncomfortable is it gonna be to be fighting fights and everything that was gonna happen to her in the dress, and then being in a helipad with the wind and the helicopter at the end. So, what do we do? How do we keep transforming this outfit? And so, it occurred to us to kill somebody and have her steal the pants. So that was one of the ideas to then get her into the pants. But we probably had thousands of meters of cloth, of textile, sent from Spain to South Africa. And we had dozens of seamstresses working on the outfits. And then the continuity of how it was transformed was also very, very tricky. The cape came at the end. The idea of the cape came at the end. But I love that it turned out really well. It was very scary, I have to say, to put her in a red dress.
And she just nailed it. She kicked some ass with that dress. And the climax, I have to say that it keeps getting better and better. The helicopter scene is absolutely amazing, so nerve-wracking. There's a combination of great acting between Viola and Anthony, which plays a great villain, and also directing a practical effects. So tell me about that. I know that scene was made with practical effects. I wanted to know how did this scene was put together?
You nailed it very hard because the helicopter is real. They had to get in it and turn and spin and move it. So it's like if you have a bus, that you need to control. So we had to design. There were multiple meetings in which we were designing how do we make this work. And there's no like big sound stage in Cape Town that we could use. We were in a stadium. So we had to build a platform and put green screens, and it was a very, very challenging scene. And then on top of that, make sure that the acting, that is still between the actors what's happening. So it's still intimate and emotional, and I loved how it turned out. I'm very, very pleased with it.
Oh, me too. I have to say that I love that scene. The climax is perfect. Thank you so much, Patricia. It was a huge pleasure. I have to say that I really expect G20 to become the next Olympus Has Fallen, because I do think the movie has the potential to become a franchise. So hopefully we'll see you here again in Brazil, maybe talking about G20, I don't know, 2.0. We never know, right?
Yes, and you know what? If Brazil watches this movie a lot, we might get Amazon to do G20 Brazil, and then we shoot it here.
Yes. I'd love that. Hopefully, Amazon Prime Video is listening to that conversation, and they will listen to both of us. Thank you so much, Patricia. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.